Hey guys, welcome to Volume Day 7. Can you believe that you are almost done with this unit? It's gone fast, hasn't it? Today in this lesson, we're really just kind of going over what we've already done. We're going to do a little bit of rate of flow, a little bit of finding the volume of one container and then pouring something into another and figuring out the new height. And then we've got some harder problems at the end from the Volume 3 worksheet that we'll be doing in class today. Okay, so go ahead and fill in the top of your notes. This is just to remind you always what these different things are. Length is measured in centimeters, and it's just one side, same as width. Area is measured in centimeters squared. It equals length times width, and volume is measured in centimeters cubed. It equals length times width times height. Okay, let's start our first problem here. The base of a rectangular tank measures 50 centimeters by 40 centimeters. What will be the new height of the water when it contains 9 liters of water? Okay, so, sorry about the awkward pause there. I was having a little tech issue, but we're going to go ahead and substitute in our values like we've been doing. So we'll substitute in 9,000 for volume. And the reason that we need to do 9,000 instead of 9 liters is because we want to find the height. And since height is going to be in centimeters, we need to be consistent with our units. All right, and then we're just going to solve for height. So what we've done is we've divided both sides by 50 over 40, 50 times 40. Cross cancel some zeros here. These cancel out. And then we have 90 divided by 20, which is going to equal 4.5 centimeters. All right, on to the next one. A rectangular tank measuring 18 meters by 18 meters by 6 meters is 2/3 filled with water. That's this guy right here. If the water is poured into another tank, which is 12 meters long and 10 meters wide, what will be the new height of the water level in the second tank? Well, we obviously need to figure out the volume of the first tank first, or see how much stuff is in there. And then we'll have a volume to plug into our equation over here and figure out the height of the second tank. So I've got my volume equation there. Let's figure out how much is in the first tank first. So we're going to use unitary method, and I've got it set up a little bit differently over here in the corner. I've got 3/3 equals 6, okay? Now I know that we're used to using unitary method with just, 3 units, but this means the same thing, and you should really get used to this. So now I've got 1/3 equals 2. So what I've done is I've multiplied both sides by 1/3, right? So I've got 6 times 1/3, and what happened was these guys canceled out right here, and I was left with 1/3 equals 6 times 1/3, which equals 2. Okay, so 1 unit, that's the equivalent to 1 unit. 1 unit equals 2 meters. So I want to figure out for 2 units, or 2/3 of the tank, that's going to equal 4 meters. Okay, so this is the value that I'm going to put in over here for my height in order to find the volume of water that's in there. So I have 18 times 4, and when we do that multiplication, we'll get 1,296 meters cubed. Okay, so that's how much we have to put in our second tank here. Now notice that that's meters cubed, not centimeters cubed, so that is not going to equal liters. So let's keep it in meters cubed and substitute in our values. We have 1,296 for our volume equals 12 times 10 times height. We'll divide both sides by 12 times 10, which is 120. Those guys canceled out, and we get 1,296 divided by 120. And when we do that division, we're going to get 10.8 meters equals our height. So some of these word problems are many steps, and they can get really confusing, but if you just break them down, think through them before you start, and then just go step by step, they're really not difficult. Okay, on to the third one. An empty rectangular tank measures 60 centimeters by 50 centimeters by 56 centimeters. It is being filled with water flowing from a tap at a rate of 8 liters per minute. And A says find the capacity of the tank, and B says how long will it take to fill up the tank? Well, A is just a straight up volume problem, isn't it? We're just going to substitute in 60 times 50 times 56. And when we multiply that, we'll get 168,000 centimeters cubed. Now, the second part of our problem asks how long will it take to fill up the tank. And if it's being filled at 8 liters per minute, then this needs to be changed to liters so that our units match. So there we go with the liters. And then let's go ahead and set up our conversion down here. We have 168 liters times 1 minute per 8 liters. My liters cancel out. That's how I can tell that I've got this set up correctly. I have 168 divided by 8, and that's going to equal 21. Oops, that's supposed to look like a 6. There we go. Okay, so 21 minutes. All right, the last one says the base of a rectangular tank measures 50 by 40 centimeters. It contains 60 liters of water when it is 3/4 full. We want to find the height of the tank. So there are 2 ways that we could go about this. We could find the capacity of the entire tank. It's only 3/4 full, which means it's only full up to about here, right? So we could find the capacity of the entire tank. And then we could find the height, or we could find the current height, and then we could find the full height by just using unitary method. We're going to find the capacity of the tank and do it that way. So if 3/4 of the capacity is 60 liters, we'll multiply each side. Let's do this. Let's just go ahead and write each step. We're multiplying each side by 1/3. Okay, so my 3's cancel out, and now I have 1/4 of the tank is equal to 20 liters. 1/4 is the same as 1 unit. So here I had 3 units equals 60. Now I have 1 unit equals 20. 4 units or 4/4 or the whole thing equals 80 liters. Okay, so that's the capacity of my tank. It can hold 80 liters. Now I'm going to have to change that to centimeters cubed because I want to find the height. So let's go ahead and do that. 80,000 centimeters cubed. Just multiply by 1,000. And now we'll substitute in our values. 80,000 equals 50 times 40 times height. We'll go ahead and we'll divide both sides by 50 times 40. These guys cancel out. I can cancel out some zeros here. And now I have 800. I'm going to write that over here because I think my next pop-up is going to be right there. 800 divided by 20, and look at that. I can even cross-cancel more zeros. And my answer is going to end up 40 centimeters. I'm going to erase all of this stuff so you can see that a little bit better. Okay. All right, so that's it for your notes from today.